G'day YouTube people, we're going to do something different today. Instead of looking at cafe bike parking, we're going to go to HBF Park, which is a sports ground, and have a look at the bike parking there. And big spoiler alert, it says here, how you can get to your next event, including public transport, driving and parking. Yeah, bike parking, bit of an afterthought, I got to say. But it's a pretty nice stadium, and I kind of am thinking of this by comparing it to Concord Stadium with the new build there, and what sort of infrastructure has been put in there for bike parking. Now, interestingly enough, part of this stadium was built back in 1956, and back then not many people had cars, so the way most people would have gotten to this oval would have been tram, bus, train, walk, bicycle. But somehow over the years, it's evolved into everybody driving. And look at this lovely shaded car park with lots of space for cars. Now, we could compare this amount of bike parking here to Optus Stadium, which is not far away, but it's a lot newer. And they've got rack after rack of bike parking all around the stadium, which on the surface is really good, except a mate of mine went to the footy here, locked up his $10,000 e-bike in one of these racks, and came back to find it missing. So what these places really need is a bike shelter like this one at East Perth train station, something that's locked up and you can use a swipe card to get in and out. So you've got a heck of a lot more security than just a bike rack out in the open air, because you think about it when you're going to a game at one of these places, you want to dress for the game. So if it's winter, you're going to be wearing heavy clothes and stuff to keep you warm. Now, this was the first thing I spotted, and I thought, are they bike racks? And I went, no, I think they're more for lining people up to enter into the ground. They wouldn't be locking a bike up there. But I did a complete circuit of the area looking for bike racks. And yeah, I found these. Whoopie-doo, you can lock up 3 bikes there in a car park which will probably hold, I don't know, 100 cars. They've set aside that tiny amount of space for bike parking. And, as I rode down here looking at all the space that was available, I thought, why can't they put in a bike shelter, nice locked up place that might encourage people to ride? Because I wouldn't ride my bike here because I wouldn't trust that it would still be there when I walked out of the game at the end. Riding around, yes, here's another bike rack. Look, it's a nice bike rack, there's no doubt about it, but it's out in the open where there's absolutely no surveillance by ticket staff, etc. Really easy to steal a bike from there, put in a bike shelter. Now, I had a look at the accessibility map, and lots of emphasis here on wheelchair access and things like that. Bike parking, really hard to find. I mean, it does exist, but yeah, not in great locations, not in great quantities, and certainly I would think not secure. Like, look at this one out here in the park. Who's going to be looking at that? No, I want to lock it up in a shelter like this. Thank you very much. Now, the screwball thing is, one of the roads that goes past here has actually got a good separated bike lane running alongside it on both sides, because it goes past a primary school and some other things. So, from a number of places, this would be a good sports facility to ride to. But there's just nothing at the end where you can securely lock your bike up. I mean, convenience would be nice, but I think security is the main thing when you're going into a ground for a couple of hours and you can't eyeball it. So, yeah, that's useless. That's useless. The other thing is useless. Put in something that's secure and lockable.